Well, good evening there, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, there we go. Okay, my friends. That took a little bit of a neon to get here. First, I was going to try something new out using this software called ProPresenter. Kind of use that as our weather software for like graphics and all that stuff. But what do you know? Of all things, ProPresenter wanted to get us a grief about it. Like, everything would freeze on my computer. I would have to do a complete computer restart, like, force restart it. Like, hold my power button down for 5 seconds, which I ideally don't really like to do that. But I had to completely force restart the thing. And then when I get it working again, I do go live. Okay? I started the live button. But I thought that we weren't having audio coming from any of our sources. Like, I wouldn't even go into other videos. The audio channel, or no audio, coming from it. Here to find out. So my AirPods are still out of their case over there on my bed. Okay. So here to find out, my computer is connected to the AirPods. Yeah. That's why I wasn't hearing audio coming from here. So, that's why we're a bit delayed from what I wanted to actually physically go ahead and start this live. So, we're here now. So, I'm not going to keep you much longer. So, what I want to do now, we will skip the current stuff right now. Let me bring up. Oops. Okay, I'm going to bring this over here. Potentially. Okay, continental. I want regional. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so let me fast forward the GFS model to Saturday. Okay, so let's get a look now at what these computer models are showing us. Because this is where things are going to get a little bit on the interesting side. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Oh, my audio channel, my video channel is not showing up right. I just now saw that. I think it's display capture. There we go. Okay. Now we're working. Okay. Okay, so here's the GFS model. Starting at 1 a.m. on Saturday, you can see we're pretty much dry across our region. What did I just do? As we step forward now to 4, still a bit the same thing. So 7 o'clock. So now this is this looks like this is a new model run. So now this is 1 p.m. Saturday. You can see the snow started to creep in to the very bottom, or towards like Braxton, Gilmore counties, parts of Ritchie County. And by 4 p.m., and this looks like it's like light snow. So it won't cause too much headaches. Now down south, towards Kentucky and Tennessee, it is darker blues, or indicating heavier snow. Which, as you can see, is going to be concentrated more towards southern West Virginia by 7 p.m. on our Saturday. Now, as you see right up here, we're starting to get a little bit of heavier snow here, but it's not as heavy as what's down here. So we got that going. Now if we step forward, so the same thing. This is now 1 a.m. on Saturday, but look at all that freezing rain potential down towards Tennessee and Georgia, and all that mixing of like sleet and all that stuff down towards North Carolina, parts of Virginia. All this right in there, it's that warm wedge of air. You can see it start at 7 or 4 a.m. on Sunday. The GFS model has that warm wedge starting to approach southern West Virginia. But we're still seeing up toward our neck of the woods. Still that very, very light snow. I say very light because it's not as dark as what some other parts were. And this is 10 a.m. on our Sunday. Okay, we can deal with this. So this is now 1 p.m. You can see back off towards the west. Let me get a mouse. That way I'm not having to. Reach over stuff. This is the next best idea that I got. Okay, so yeah. As you can see, so back off here. Let me make this mouse setting a little bit faster because I don't like how slow it is. That would be under devices, I think. Okay, that's better. Okay, so as you can see, back off here towards, like, Kentucky. These areas back here. 1 p.m. Sunday. We're looking at heavier snow. As we step this forward... Oops. Let's try this. You can see by 4 p.m. it's starting to overtake our region. But that warm... So keep an eye on this warm wedge down here towards the south. So you can see it's now starting to approach, like, Webster County. But, okay, this is new. Because now it's pushing up by 7 p.m. on Sunday. More heavier snow towards our neck of the woods. Same thing as for 10. And then it starts to wind down by 1 a.m. and, like, begin starting to push out of here. So, part of you is wondering, okay, well, how much snow is the GFS model having us look at? Let's look at that right now. Then we'll look at a couple other models. Okay, so this is 10 p.m. on Sunday. Or on Saturday. Note. Like Harrison County's looking at an inch. Now, I think Barber County could look at 2 inches. I think this is Zealous-ing already an inch. It's already placed down. So, bear in mind, 2 inches of snow already. And then 1 a.m. Now, if you look up here across our neck of the woods, we're not really seeing much changes whatsoever, even by 7 a.m. Still, like, between 3-4 inches for Harrison County, 4 inches for, like, Philippi. Then by 10 a.m., we're up to 5 inches in Philippi, 4 inches in Harrison County, and then 1 p.m., it overtakes the region. So by 10 p.m. on our Sunday, because those heavier... So this by... So starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday, and then going through, you can see this right here is because of that heavier pocket of snow that we were just seeing with the GFS model. So, Philippi could close out the whole system from Sunday to Monday with potentially, according to the GFS model, 16 inches of snow, or at least 15 inches of snow. By 10 a.m. Tuesday, actually. Yikes. Now, let's backtrack this. Let's go back to Friday at 10. Let's come back up to... this, and then switch to this model. Okay. Now, let's have a bit of fun with this. This is now the European model. As we step this forward, this is now 1 a.m. on Sunday, or on Saturday. 7 a.m. You can see, nothing has started yet. Now, 1 p.m. on Sunday, or on Saturday, excuse me. The snow is still about a few hours away from us at this point. 7 p.m. on Saturday. Light snow is starting to overtake the region. Now, this model has freezing rain down towards the south in West Virginia, with a little bit of some moderate snow up towards our neck of the woods. But by 7 a.m. on Sunday, more freezing rain starts coming up north. Barber County, and parts of Harrison County, and parts of Randolph County, could see some sleet start mixing in. And then by 1 p.m. on Sunday, as you can see, that warm wedge takes over. And we're starting to mix some of this over to rain. Some freezing rain towards Barber and Taylor counties, Preston, Tucker, Randolph, and parts of Harrison. And by 7 p.m., it's all rain. And then on the back end of that, by 1 a.m. Monday, we turned it over to snow. And then shut it out by 1 a.m. on Tuesday. Now, let's see if because of this, if the European model changes snowfall totals. Okay, so this is 7 a.m. See, if they are showing a, let's come back to the precipitation. So if they're showing So I'm a little biased on some of this stuff. Let's see if we have a short-range model yet. We probably won't see all these short-range models probably until tomorrow sometime. Let's look at the NAM model. Okay, so this goes up to 7 a.m. on Sunday. That's all we have so far. But we're slowly starting to get short-range model guidance. As you can see, they're showing a little bit more moderate snow for some of the region too. So let's see what they're saying snowfall-wise. Hardly much. So if you look, by 7 a.m., see the range difference? Like we dropped maybe a few, like about an inch or so. So it seems like, so far, the NAM and the GFS model are agreeing in terms of snowfall totals. So, what all does this mean for us? Well, all it means is just be weather aware. Have plans in place for if they're needed. Like, nothing is fully set in stone yet, because there is still so much uncertainty yet with this weather disturbance. Okay, and Pittsburgh, just a little while ago, issued a winter storm watch. So our whole state, well, we'll bring this over and show this. So this is our current winter weather alerts. Now this pink, or this purple, it's a winter weather advisory that expires later this morning. But this blue is the winter storm watch for this weekend's system. So, but if we zoom out, look how far this winter storm watch goes. And then, yeah. Like, it goes all the way back as soon as, like, Arizona and all the way up to New York. Like, all of Arkansas, almost all of Oklahoma, all of Tennessee, all of Kentucky, almost all of North Carolina, all of Virginia, all of West Virginia, all of Pennsylvania, all of Maryland, it looks like all of Delaware, almost all of New Jersey has it. So, this thing is not looking like it's going to mean business. Now, a lot of the areas in this blue are going to see a significant ice storm out of this thing. But if you look up here to the north. Yeah. That's going to be extreme cold. Like extreme cold warnings, extreme cold watches are out. And a lot of that might even try and squeeze its way into our region. So if that does, we'll keep you posted. But I think that's pretty much all I have for tonight. Let me actually see once. If the National Weather Service is mentioning anything about snow totals yet. Probably not yet, and that's okay. No, not yet. Just, it's because it's so hard because there's still so much uncertainty with the system yet. So this is what the National Weather Service is saying. In Charleston, winter storm watch remains in effect. So this is updated at 1:42 a.m., so just not too long ago. Winter storm watch remains in effect from Saturday morning through Monday morning. What? A winter storm is expected to bring moderate to major impacts to the region this weekend. Periods of moderate to heavy snow are forecast this weekend, with the possibility of a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, especially along the west, along and just west of the higher terrain, where portions of northeast Kentucky, southeast Ohio, southwest Virginia, and central, northeast, northwest, southeast, southern, and western West Virginia, when from Saturday morning through Monday morning, impacts. Travel could be very difficult to impossible. The hazardous travel conditions could impact the Monday morning commute. What about Sunday morning commute? Anyway. Precautionary / preparedness actions. Monitor later forecasts for updates on the situation. Additional information can be found at https://weather.gov/RLX, as well as on our Facebook, or as well as on our X and Facebook pages. So clearly, they don't know much information about it yet either, because things are still changing. That's why, as you've seen, we have not thrown out on our stream tonight snowfall totals, because I don't feel comfortable releasing a full set-in-stone snow total graphic just yet. We'll probably push one out later tonight, meaning Thursday, later tonight, or Friday. We'll probably have a finalized snowfall total projection by Friday, but later tonight's stream, because we'll be going live again tonight, we will show a first look at snow totals. But this thing is just going to be a kind of big. What's funny? So I don't know if you guys heard. We can pretty much wrap things up here now for tonight. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little chit chat here. So, sorry, I'm adjusting the microphone a little tiny bit. Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard of this thing going around, this trend or whatever you want to call it, of 2026 is the new 2016. So, what is funny about that is it's not really today's date, is it? Let me see once. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. So, later this afternoon, today, 10 years ago, to into the 23rd of January, we got that winter storm at that point named Winter Storm Jonas, because the Weather Channel does stupid stuff and names their winter storms. The winter storms. Like, really? So we had Winter Storm Jonas come through North Central West Virginia. Okay. It dumped a little over a foot of snow for the lower elevations, but up to 2 feet plus in the high elevations. I think we measured outside here at our house roughly around 2 feet. So, earlier during the week, some of the models were indicating we could have seen that again with this system. I mean, they're still forecasting up to close to a foot of snow. So, either way, it's going to kind of... But what's funny is it's going to be hitting this time hang on, let me get my calendar back open. 24th through the 26th. About a couple of days later than 2016 system. That's nuts. It's like, what, are we repeating 2016 all over again? Oh, please, no. So I just thought that was interesting and thought I'd pass that along. So anyway, we'll keep monitoring this situation as it unfolds as we get more information. As like I said, these models are still changing and still adjusting what's going on. As we just read, the National Register doesn't have much information and knowledge of what's happening yet either. And they're usually my go-to fallback. Information. So for southeast rain of North Pocahontas County, now like I said, they have 2 weather alerts in effect. So, for the winter weather advisory, which is what's in effect now, mixed precipitation, total additional snow accumulations up to 1 inch, and ice accumulations up to around a lake glaze. Winds gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. For the winter storm watch, a winter storm is expected to bring moderate to major impacts. Basically, what we just read for us. So, like I said, they're not even sure what's going on yet either. Crazy for a government agency who issues the weather alerts to not know fully what's happening yet. So that's how there's still so much information that needs ironed out with this system. And for all we know, it may not hit us at all. We'll find out. No, I'm sure we got some impact on it somewhere along the lines, but the question still remains unknown on what that is. Big question mark. Here, hang on. It is a big that. Let me see if I'm holding it up right. Yeah, so it's a big that. A big question mark. Anyway, so you all have a good rest of your Thursday, and we'll chat again later this evening. I'll schedule a Facebook or a live video to go out to start maybe around 11:30ish, give or take. So, you all have a fantastic one, and we'll chat again this evening. Have a good night.